Good morning. Today is Monday, March 20th, 2023. When I met and married Marci, it brought bountiful and manifold blessings to my life and continues to do so 42 years later. Just one of those blessings was meeting and getting to know Rabbi Yitzchak Chinn of blessed memory, Marci's rabbi in the Shul in which she was raised in McKeesport, Pennsylvania, which is a suburb of Pittsburgh. Rabbi Chinn was a Talmid Chacham, a Torah scholar. He was an amazingly sensitive rabbi. I had the opportunity to learn from him, especially as I was beginning my career, to see and hear a truly great rabbi in action. And he was so kind to me and so generous with his time, with his advice, as he was to everyone. I felt it especially as an outsider coming into this family and this community. Rabbi Chinn and Mrs. Chinn, of blessed memory, are largely responsible for helping raise hundreds of young people into wonderful, committed, caring adults, including Marci and much of her family. Rabbi Chinn told this story, and it is not only a story he told, but an expression of his character, to weigh every word and to understand the power of every word, to hurt, God forbid, and to help, beyond our wildest imagination. So here's the story about a boy. I'll call him Gary. It's not his real name. And he attended a Jewish elementary school in Pittsburgh. And he was known throughout the school as being a big problem. Year after year, teacher after teacher, he was incorrigible. He never applied himself. He was very disruptive in class. He was disobedient. He was disrespectful. He was either the class clown or the class terror. One day it happened he was sent to the principal's office for the 1,000th time that year because of something else ridiculous that he had done. And of course, the principal was very familiar with Gary and had had this exact talk with him many times before. So, invited Gary into his office, spoke to him about proper behavior, making something out of your life, a little self-discipline. It was pretty much the same speech he gave to Gary many, many times and everybody else, all the other students in this circumstance. But the next day, there was a notable change in Gary's behavior. And as the days and the weeks and then the months passed by, he began to excel academically and socially. He became a model student. He was studious, he was courteous, he was an asset in the class because he was participating in a very constructive way. He was involved in extracurricular activities. And all of his teachers, his current teachers and all of his past teachers, were wondering the same thing. What did the principal say to Gary that day in his office? But nobody had the nerve to ask this question of the principal. Until finally, the very end of the school year, the last staff meeting, and finally one of the teachers said to the principal, okay, you got to tell us, what happened to Gary this year? What did you say to Gary in that meeting that turned him around so dramatically? Everybody noticed it. And the principal looks at them and he says, I don't know. I have no idea. I gave him the same talk I would give any student in that circumstance, the same speech I have given him countless times. There was nothing different about it. I have no idea why this time suddenly he was so remarkably affected? I don't know. Okay, so now everybody's curiosity is just eating at them, and they decide to go straight to the source. So one of the teachers goes over to this boy, Gary, and he says, Gary, please, could you just explain to me what happened in that conversation with the principal that turned your whole life around? So listen to the story that Gary tells. Here's the story. First, I was sent to the principal's office, which was nothing new. I stepped into the office, I sat down. The principal started speaking and lecturing about stuff. To be honest, I couldn't really tell you what he said because I don't remember, and I wasn't really paying attention. Then his intercom buzzed. It was his secretary telling him there was a phone call for him. He told his secretary that he couldn't speak now because he was meeting with someone very important. Then the principal kept going on with his lecture, but I have no idea what he was saying because all I could think about was that he said I was someone very important. I left his office with that one thought spinning through my head. The principal thinks that I am very important. I went home, but that's all I could think about for the rest of the day. I am important. The next day, I got up, I got dressed, I ate breakfast, I went to school, all the same things I always did, but it was all different. Now, I was someone important. I went to my first class, sat down feeling great, and I guess things kind of just took off from there. This is a true story and a dramatic reminder of how the right word at the right moment can change someone's life. My friends, I want to wish you a great day, and I look forward to seeing you soon in person.